Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you may be. It's Rock and Larry Locken here with the What's Your Opinion show. Hey, I just wanted to give a quick talk. It won't take but a few minutes, but I'm going to play a little audio for you. I thought this was funny. I found this, I think it was last night or the night before, and I had to do a quick commentary on it because of how much I know my partner, Kenny Jackson, how much he loves Meghan McCain so much. So I caught this off of the Majority Report with Sam Cedar. Meghan McCain is really just all up in arms of, God, the country's going to turn socialist, and because apparently they had left-leaning progressive candidate Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez on, and I'm learning just now to say her name the right way, and I think a lot of us better learn to start saying her name the right way because I think she's going to be around a while, whether she does anything in this election or not, maybe runs for a vice. She's a real Bernie Sanders kind of thinker, and she refers to herself as a socialist. Okay, so I'm going to play a little bit of this for you. Whoopi starts out with, and I got to admit, I'm a little disappointed in Whoopi too for not quite. Whoopi, well, I'll stop intermittently and kind of give you my take on what I think's going on here.
We were talking about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She's one of the reasons that what is now being called democratic socialists are rising stars in the party. But I'm a little concerned about that because this was my problem with Bernie Sanders. If you're a socialist, tell me that. Don't say that you're a Democrat because we don't have the same ideas of what should be happening if you're a Democrat. So I wonder.
No. That's not true. That's not true at all. That's if you're a corporate Democrat, Whoopi, like you are. You're like a corporate Democrat, okay? You're afraid of the term socialist because you really haven't done your homework and really listened to what it means. You probably have the same kind of notion that it coincides with dictatorships, which that's always the elephant in the room is Venezuela and Cuba, but you'll hear more here. So here we go with some more of this. Wait till Meghan gets in there and really just gets all upset.
If this is now a splinter group, if anybody's discussed the difference between socialism and democratic
I don't know. Isn't it more like, isn't democratic socialism very close to liberalism? I mean, no. I mean, well, think about it for a second. Medicare, Social Security, bonds collection, the post office, the library.
I agree with you.
That's all.
Well, I agree with you.
And Joy's right on cue right there in what she's saying. She was really on her game today. So let's continue to go on. I mean, she's just given the logic, basically. This isn't trying to turn anything into a communist not that anybody even really knows what that term is, but some dictatorist regime. We can still have free healthcare. We can still have free college. We can still have all these things. We can still have a post office. Okay. I mean, these Republicans would like to get rid of all of this stuff and have it privatized by the government, or not the government, but privatized, ran through a government grants and funds and kickbacks and no regulations, so basically the corporations run the government and have all the power, but with no oversight. That's what fascism is, people. If you ever wondered, people throw that term out there. Fascism is a society where the corporations completely have 100% say. The workers, zero. Regulation, zero. But here, let's go ahead and go on.
So we had her on the show, and I asked her this question about what do you mean by being a democratic socialist? And she went over her platform. She says Medicare for all, fully funded public schools and university, love it, paid family and sick leave, justice system reform, immigration justice, infrastructural overhaul, clean campaign finance, an economy of peace, housing as a human right. Well, I don't know.
Here it comes. Here it comes. It's just your 19th nervous breakdown, to quote an old Stone song. Here comes Meghan. Here she comes. Here comes the Valley Girl. Here she comes. I just didn't know about, well, you'll hear.
which, by the way, I hope Democrats do run a democratic socialist.
You hope that we win? You win the
No,
Democratic
because I think you'll lose spectacularly, and then I will look forward to election night when I finally get to tell everybody I told you so. Yeah.
Why would you look forward to a night like that when I told you so? See how petty that sounds in this context? So I can tell you that I told you so. So I can tell you that I told you so. I can't believe this. Well, I can remember her a couple years on Fox. Well, actually, it was during the election, this last election, and she's all, oh God, I hope Trump wins. I can't believe last time we were so disappointed. Romney didn't win, and I don't want to get let down like this again. And I can't stand to have anybody to the left in power. You know, I mean, so here it comes. Here it comes, ladies and gentlemen.
End up running a radical. Problem with socialism, in the words of Margaret Thatcher, at a certain point you run out of spending other people's money.
Nobody gives a fuck what Margaret Thatcher, that old crow from the early 80s that was like a Ronald Reagan clone, only she was the Prime Minister of England at the time. They thought the same way. They thought they both kind of Trump mentality, Republican mentality. So nobody gives a shit what Margaret Thatcher thinks or has to say. Anybody that gives a fuck about humanity doesn't anyway. And Meghan McCain will name drop again, but here, I'll quit interrupting.
Venezuela, one of the richest countries in the world in the 70s. Now, the average Venezuelan has lost 24 pounds because they're starving to death.
That's because they have a dictatorship. That's because they have a dictatorship that takes all their commodities, their oil and everything, and keeps it for themselves. They have a dictatorship, okay? They don't have what Scandinavian and European countries have, but, you know, Joy will get to that here.
90% of the country
to like
is living in
Scandinavia. I
poverty.
think she's talking more about Scandinavia than Venezuela.
I'm sorry. This is what I need from her. Name one country that socialism has ever worked, and also every democratic socialist who is going on TV saying that it's good needs to start paying 90% in taxes on your tax form. No.
My fiance's from Iceland. It lives in Denmark right now currently. I noticed at first choice is Copenhagen. Copenhagen's not a country, it's in Denmark, but same thing. But you see all the cities, all the countries she just named, and she could keep going. And, you know, and Meghan McCain has the nerve to sit there and go, but she needs to name one country where it's worked. Okay, well, she just got a litany of countries where it's worked. And they have the same kind of corporate system that we do, yet at the same time. So, but here, let's finish it off.
On your tax form, I think you should start paying the amount of taxes that every socialist in this country thinks you need to. Because if you think the government is so good at spending money, look at the
What about
dangerous. I'm just telling you.
What about your country?
Everybody, God bless you all. I know you hate the government. Everybody stop talking over each other. I want to hear about it.
The population of 300,000 people. And anyway, in no way can you.
Hold on, did she say population 300,000 people? That would be referring to Iceland, and they've got close to 400,000 people. But these other countries have millions of people. Oslo, Helsinki, Copenhagen, and Stockholm are the four big cities in the four major countries, which are Sweden, Norway, Denmark, and Copenhagen on the Scandinavian peninsula. And they've got millions of people. Okay, so it ain't 300,000 people. This is, you know, I mean, they've got millions of people. They don't have hundreds of millions of people like America does, okay? But they don't have the economy and wealth that America does either, that it spends and wastes on other bullshit. But yeah, go ahead.
Related in any way comparable to the United States of America. I'm sorry. Then you need to be paying the amount of taxes.
Let her get her thing and go ahead.
By the way, the amount of taxes in socialist countries is like the top, is the most, is like 40%, and it covers like everything, your health care, college tuition, a stipend usually while you're going to college. You're not left with any college debt really when you get out. So that's about as high as taxes go. And she's going to talk here in a second about a 90% tax bracket. What she fails to mention is that that's like after every $3 million you make, then it falls into a 90% tax bracket. But here Here, let's let her finish ranting.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Normalized.
All right. Go ahead. So, you're saying you run out of people's money.
Margaret Thatcher.
People's money. Margaret Thatcher.
Again, who gives a fuck about her? Who gives a fuck about Richard Nixon or Ronald Reagan? Okay, same bullshit.
Okay, they have just given this enormous tax break to the very, very wealthy in this country. That tax break doesn't have to be so generous to those really rich people, does it? Because if you don't give that money to them, what happens to that money? Better schools, better post office.
I'm sorry.
No shit. And now here comes the fascism from Meghan McCain. Oh, I'm sorry. The government does such a great job running shit, don't they? Yeah, well, because these people are obstructionists. These fucking right-wingers always have been. And they want privatized corporations to run everything. From prisons to everything. Schools, what's taught in schools, shit that the military does, the military privatized. Here it comes.
Running things, then the post office is a great one. There's a VA. I'm sorry, comparing America to a small country in Europe is delusional. And I'm sorry, some of us do not want socialism to be normalized.
Again, it's not a small fucking country in Europe. The only one that's anywhere near this size, as low as she mentioned, is Iceland, okay? I mean, give me a fucking break, okay? This is under-exaggerating it, and she knows it, and here, anyway. Okay, so that's the end of it. So, you know, people, I really don't know what goes through this chick's mind when she thinks like that. She worries. What is it that they're worried that really there's only a few fucking compromises good people are asking for, okay? Free healthcare for all. And I think we can do better. Free fucking medicine for all. That's one. Two, your education is paid for. Like I said, your junior college is paid for. You qualify to go on and get your BA paid for. Your master's paid for. Your PhD fucking paid for. Okay? All the tutors you need at your disposal. All the extra help you need at your disposal. A siphon to be paid while you're going to school, like these other countries actually do. Okay, America does not need to spend the money that it does, believe it or not, on our military. Yeah, our naval, all that, our sea forces. I agree with a lot of money going into that, but we need to get the fuck off the ground in a lot of these places. And that would save a lot of money right there, but again, it would eliminate a lot of back scratching too of people that are getting deals. And what, you know, I mean, everything's fucking corrupt, especially when it comes to America. Everything is fucking corrupt. It's fucking the payoffs and the rip-offs and shit nobody saw, right? So, but these Republicans are afraid that once those issues, like that I mentioned, like become accepted law in practice in America, they're afraid, what are they going to run on? What could they possibly offer anybody? Okay, I mean, you know, and yeah, the word socialism, I'm not sure why Bernie chose to use that word. I mean, hey, that's cool. I'm a Bernie guy. And maybe he's just trying to slowly enlighten and educate people to what socialized democracy is. Not fucking, you know, dictatorship socialism like Venezuela or, you know, God, I don't know, Cuba, third world country. You know, trust me, one thing these people wouldn't have a shortage of is naming countries like that. But if you mention any North Atlantic country in Europe or anywhere like that, they will look at you like you're speaking Martian to them. They have no idea. They have no idea. And Meghan McCain is the first person I've actually ever even heard respond to it a little by talking about the 300,000, the little country with which is fucking Iceland. You know, we're the only big city. I was Reykjavik. Okay, but these other countries have big cities that have metro fucking areas almost into the millions or into the millions, I'm sure. I used to know all my big cities around the world and about how much population they had, but it's hard for me to remember. I mostly just remember American and Canadian cities now, and of course they grow. Just like in America. It wasn't until the late 70s where Los Angeles became the second largest city in America. Chicago was until then. So, who knows? But I just wanted to kind of put this out there. I got to laugh because, I know how much Kenny loves Meghan McCain on The View. And I mean, I've been dealing with people like her almost my whole life stuck up. So it's just like, I like to avoid them like the plague. But sometimes I have to fucking call out her stupid bullshit and her paranoia and the socialism and the name dropping again. And Kenny mentioned this too on the video he did where James Comey was on there and fuck, Meghan McCain was dropping, well, this motherfucker said this motherfucker said that. It's like, who gives a fuck? And she made a point to say Margaret again after she mentioned Margaret Thatcher. She made a point to bring up that old crow's name again, as they were, I don't know, on a side laugh or whatever the fuck they were doing. But this young lady, Alexandria Scale Cortez, I'll get her name right, folks. I will get her name right. Okay, I think we all will eventually, like I said. She just needs to hang in there. You know what I mean? She'll be a great congressperson. And who knows, sometime down the road, it's all going to depend what happens in this next fucking election. I'm not 100% sure Trump is. You never know what could happen. Fuckery, Trump could get reelected. That's all going to depend on whether in 2024 different people run. See, I think Michelle Obama could run for president again. She wouldn't do it in 2020, though. I have no way. Maybe 2024. If Trump was to be reelected, or maybe someday down the road. The Obamas are still fairly young yet, but we'll see. We'll see where it goes, and really, we won't. Just to drop one thing real quick on the presidential note, we really won't know until about this time next year, during the early to midsummer, even have a clue on who's going to be really like in the field. I mean, we've got an idea, but that's going to officially say they are. Whether Bernie, of course, or whether Joe Biden makes another run at it, whether who knows, drops their name into it, and so it goes. Hopefully, it won't be that. Hopefully, that guy that ran with Hillary, that looked like I understand that Howdy Doody wasn't available, but if Tim Kaine has any delusions of grandeur of running, please somebody have an intervention with him, because that guy has the personality of a bottle cap. Okay, and he needs to get himself a jury. Him and Rand Paul, good old Rand Paul from Kentucky, two white guys with the shitty Jerry girls. But anyway, I've talked enough, and I just want to send much love out there to everybody, and thank you for listening. And with that, a big cosmic dating game kiss, and I'm out. And by the way, Kenny, I'm jealous if it's fucking raining where you're at, because it's not raining here. It's sunny, and I hate it, and I like the fucking rain because I'm from the Pacific Northwest, and we haven't had much now in a month, and I'm starting to really jones for it. So I'll trade you this nice weather for some goddamn rain. I'm out. Peace. Cosmic dating game kiss. Mwah.